Hi guys, today I've been asked to do a video on my experiences of living with depression, so I will do my best and I'm going to start at the beginning, obviously. So I was diagnosed with depression when I was 19 years old. I'd already moved to Leeds. I moved to Leeds on the 22nd of July 2007. I'd been living with Neil approximately 6 months when I was diagnosed. It all started with really low moods, suicidal thoughts, mood swings, just lashing out at absolutely everybody. I didn't know myself what it was. I just know I wasn't right. And it wasn't actually until I spoke to Neil's mum and his sister. His sister's a long-term sufferer of depression, and it was her that recognised all the signs and told me to go and see the doctor. So I went to see the doctor, and he, there and then, he'd done like the survey quiz thing, and it was then that I was diagnosed with depression. So I've been living with depression, the ups and downs, the good days, the bad days, since I was 19. I'm 25 now, and when Joel was born in 2010, up to then my depression had been stable. I hadn't had any suicide thoughts or anything like that. I'd been doing pretty well as long as I stayed on my medication. And obviously when I fell pregnant with Joel, I had to come off the medication because antidepressants can harm babies. Well, the ones I was on could harm babies. So I had to come off them while I was pregnant. And I mean, me and Neil had been trying for 2 years for Joel. I miscarried in 2009 when I was 7 weeks. And then I fell pregnant with Joel in January 2010. So obviously I wasn't on my antidepressants, and I was quite ecstatic that I was finally pregnant after trying for 2 years. So it was all, you know, sunshine and roses, perfect, oh my god, I'm gonna have a baby sort of thing. And yeah, so that the first 9 months I was too busy thinking about Joel and thinking about becoming a mum that I didn't really think about my depression. So I actually did really good. And then it wasn't until I'd given birth, and they say when you've given birth, some women suffer with baby blues. Well, my baby blues, they didn't disappear, they didn't go away like some women's do, and mine they spiralled. It turned into postnatal depression. And yeah, I actually started with the symptoms of postnatal depression when Joel was 2 weeks old. I started feeling really bad things. I started thinking I was a bad mum. I had mood swings, I had suicide thoughts. I didn't really want to be looking after Joel. I was constantly palming him off on Neil's sister or Neil's mum, constantly asking them to look after him because I just wanted to be on my own. So this carried on for about 8 months. This carried on till Joel was 8 months old. And once he was 8 months old, I went home to see family, and me and my sister, we had a big scrap. My mum straight away, she saw the signs, she knew straight away something wasn't right. So she sent me home. I had to go home early. She sent me home, and she'd phoned Neil while I was on the train. She phoned Neil, she told him to get me to the doctors. So when I got home, it was like, go, pretty much. Neil's mum was there, Neil was there. Neil's mum was there to have Joel. She looked after Joel. Neil phoned the doctors. He booked me in for an emergency appointment because obviously he'd seen the signs as well. So he booked me in for an emergency appointment, and I was took down to the surgery, and it was there that I totally fell apart basically. God, it still gets me now when I think about it. Yeah. I had to do a survey. I had to do a survey on my feelings, and yeah, sorry. I had to do a survey on my feelings, and obviously he had to prescribe me with medication and stuff like that. And since then, I have been on and off different medications. I've been on and off different medications, but I've been a lot better in myself. Now compared to what I was 2 years ago, I can't cope when Joel's not here. Like when he goes to nursery. Well, he starts nursery 2 afternoons a week next week, and when he goes to nursery, even after just an hour, I'm sat here twiddling my thumbs. I hate it. So I don't know if it's made our bond stronger, sort of thing. But yeah, I'm doing better. I am doing loads better than what I was. Like I say, I'm still on my medication. I'm on quite a high dose. I still have my really bad days, and when I have my really bad days, I'm a total cow. I am awful. I really don't know how Neil has put up with me for so long, and I am so unbelievably grateful to him, because honest to God, I have been like a total cow to him. Before now, I've said all sorts. I threatened to move away, take Joel with me, totally broke his heart, and he's still here. I don't know why he's still here, but yeah, he's still here with me. So I'm very grateful to him. I absolutely love him to pieces. But yeah, I don't really know how else I can explain it, but at the moment, like I say, I've got my Facebook page. It's called A Woman of Many Roles, full-time mummy, full-time mama, housewife, and living with depression. I set up that page because when I set up my blog, this is Hector by the way, when I set up my blog, at first it was just like a piece of space for me to have my own, like to write my thoughts down, process my feelings, just have a vent when I needed one. And then people, because I started posting the updates on Facebook, people started moaning at me saying, oh, well, you talk about is your depression. Well, in my eyes, if I don't talk about it, it builds up. And then when it builds up, that's when I start taking out on people I love. So I have to talk about it, I have to get it out. So that's why I started my blog. And then because people started complaining, I then set my page up so I could post my updates on there. And then that's when it started getting around about my page. People started joining me. I've had loads of people thanking me for sharing my experiences, and it's helped. I've had people say that it's helped them. I'm not the sort of person to brag about my page and say, oh, well, I've helped this many people with their depression. I just, if I can help a person, then that's great. Then yeah, that makes my day. If I can help somebody else with their problems, then that's fantastic. But yeah, I'm all for helping others. I tend to put others before myself, which sometimes can leave me in a bit of a rut. Because then when I try and do something for myself, I feel really guilty then, because, well, I'm all for helping others. So yeah, but yeah, that's about it really. I don't really know what else to say, and so I will leave this as it. And hopefully it's not too much of a really crap video, I hope. So yeah, please carry on with your feedback. Join my page, my Facebook page. Like I say, it's a woman of many roles, with full-time mama, housewife, and living with depression. Please share it with your family and friends, because I'd love for it to get around. And just for people, so I could share my experiences, because when I'm sharing my experience with other people, I don't seem to dwell on it as much. I just get on with my life, sort of thing. It kind of helps me. Helping others helps me with my problems, kind of thing. I know that sounds really silly, but that's just, I don't know, that's just how it works out. But yeah, if you could just join it, pass it around. I mean, you don't have to comment on it or anything like that. I mean, if you want to comment, then I'd appreciate the comments. Obviously, don't join and comment if you're going to give negativity, because negativity doesn't help me. It doesn't help me in the slightest. If anything, it sets me back. So yeah, but yeah, I'm going to leave this video as it now, because I have left Joe downstairs while I'm doing this video, and I do not trust him in the slightest round our new TV. So yeah, I will leave this video as it, and I really hope you enjoy it and you understand like me a bit more now. And yeah, I will speak to you guys soon. Okay? Awesome.